The opportunities that are coming in your life, don't be afraid of them because you don't agree with who gave you the opportunity. As my mother would say, eat the fish and throw away the bones, but receive the opportunity that God has for you. I'm talking to your mind right now because some of you are so conditioned to live within your construct that you alienate yourself from the answer that God is sending in your life to bless you. God is sending something to bless. Oh, bless his name. God is sending someone to bless you. God is sending someone to bless you. And they may not dress right, and they may not look right, and they may not look like you, and they may not have your background, and they may not share your values, but God is sending someone to bless. Can you imagine the man on the Jericho road, bleeding to death, half dead, and looks up and sees that it's a Samaritan and says, don't touch me. You're a Samaritan. He would have died because of his biases. He would have utterly been destroyed because of his biases. It's important that we teach this message now because our world, our country, our churches, and even our families are more divided than they've ever been before. Your family has turned into gangs. Oh yeah, I'm talking to you. Your family's got gangs. I'm not talking about the Crips and the Bloods, but you got Crips and the Bloods in your family. You got gangs in your family that take sides and fight the other side, and everybody is fighting. Mothers against daughters, last days, fathers against sons. People who normally would be together, you're finding it difficult to come together. Some of you dread Thanksgiving dinner. You dread the holiday because your mother-in-law's coming over, and that other tribe is coming over, and your son and his girlfriend are coming over, and she doesn't like you, and all that. You got tribes to contend. All these tribes going on in your life. So many tribes. Democrats and Republicans used to be able to disagree and still have lunch together. Now, if you disagree with me, you're not an American. You're an animal. You're a dog. You're terrible. You're awful. Those days are gone of being able to being mature enough to step over your differences and understanding that there's more to unite us than there is to divide us. That doesn't mean that we can't speak truth to power. That doesn't mean that we can't have honest conversation. That doesn't mean that we can't describe our perspective, but you can't change people you won't talk to. You can't help people that you won't talk to. And more importantly, they can't help you. God will use somebody that you don't like to bless you. And the power of this text that we're studying in Luke 10 is that Jesus is trying to shatter the construct that exists around the minds of these people to think that the only people that can bless you are the people who are like you. The truth of the matter is, the people who were most like the man who went down from Jerusalem, which incidentally is the place that the southern tribes inherited. They inherited Jerusalem. They inherited Solomon's temple. This man went down from Jerusalem and fell amongst thieves, stripped him, wounded him, left him half dead. Everybody that he thought would help him did not. I want to talk to some people out there who are living with the disappointment that the people you thought were going to be by your side were not. The people you thought would come to rescue you did not. The people you thought would call you on the phone and ask you, are you all right, did not. You're sitting up right now in an isolated situation, in a quarantine situation, and some of the very people you thought would call you and check on you didn't call. And some of the most unlikely people came to your rescue and came to your aid because God is trying to shatter how you see the world and tear down your construct and open your understanding to the fact that the Samaritan might be the one that brings you the oil and the wine, that pours in the healing balm in your wound, that wraps up the bleeding and stops the hemorrhaging in your life, that gives you a word of wisdom or a word of knowledge or introduces you to your next job or your next opportunity. You have to understand that. Or they may even be so compassionate that they get down off their beasts and walk so that you can ride on their beasts all the way to the end. That's love. And you don't get to pick who God chooses to love you through.